They say they built the train tracks over the Alps before there was a train that could make the trip. They built it anyway. They knew one day the train would come. This is a quote from one of my favorite movies called Under the Tuscan Sun, and that scene makes me tear up every single time, even when watching the movie for the 20th time. Other than the dreamy Italian landscape, that movie takes me to a place of hope, knowing that despite whatever situation I'm in currently, the next decision that I make might change the course of my life forever. My partner Chris speaks of this frequently. He often says, "I responded to a random girl's post on a backpacking forum, and now I'm marrying her." Or my favorite, "Life is just you reacting to random things that happen to you." Isn't that the truth? Any arbitrary turn along the way and we'd be elsewhere. If Chris didn't decide to go to Italy on his own, he would have never went on that forum and saw my post. If he never started working a student job at an outdoor adventure store, he would have never had the courage to travel alone. In the same way, if I didn't decide to hitchhike to Norway to meet a friend, I would have probably continued on to southern Italy instead. If I hadn't stopped at a gas station with Wi-Fi in Italy, I wouldn't have gotten the text that prompted me to hitchhike to Norway in the first place, and in turn vowed to come back to Italy, where I eventually met Chris. If recent world events hadn't transpired, we wouldn't be inspired to move into a cabin in the woods sooner, and we definitely wouldn't be living where we are now. Life is fascinating in that way. I've actually thought about this many times over the years, how one decision leads to another, and before you know it, you end up somewhere that you've always wanted to be. And it was all because of one decision some years ago. Have you ever thought about what that decision or event was for you? For me, it was when I decided in my graduating university year that instead of pursuing a master's degree in a program that I had worked my butt off for 4 years to get into, I'd instead go backpacking around the world on my own for a year. Our lives are a part of a large, intricate tapestry of spilled marbles. Those marbles are made up of different people, different emotions, different days, months, years, all contributing to the complicated yet beautiful thing that we define as our life. Some marbles roll off the table, out of our lives forever, while some marbles hit others, metaphorically creating new connections and new paths. Take time to build multiple directions of train tracks in your life, so that when opportunity arrives in the form of a figurative train, it has the means to get to where it needs to. The train track home to yourself.
I've said it many times, I know I would change my ways, I know for sure. When all the crows decide to meet, they settle down beneath my feet. I've got it right and I got it wrong, but I learned my lesson hanging on. Come sit here with me by the fire and let it go for a little while. So be here as the night starts falling. Let my fingers walk over your head. We got nothing to be scared of. I'd rather be with you than by myself. Now all is in your hands. When I was the only thing that was for me. And I saw the angels coming down, and they sang a song, they sang it loud. And I still remember parts of it, and the yellow glorious were lit. Won't you be my guide and let me follow? Can I hold your hand for old time's sake? And all this time you waited for me. Little did we know, I guess it's fate. Now all is in our hands. All is in our hands. All is in our hands.
The vegetable garden has fallen into its own rhythm now, with a lot less weeding, thankfully, and a lot more growing. Apart from spices and chickpeas and other grains, we've had the luck of preparing several meals using only homegrown ingredients, including the simple honey-roasted delicata squash and beets, with a side of sautéed greens. I'm hoping to have my own beehive next year to aid my garden in pollination. I would say that my squash plants have lost 40% of their fruit due to underpollination. Unfortunately, I don't have the time to hand pollinate everything every morning.